What's up YouTube, it's Matthew here and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you all exactly what I told a seller to put them under contract for a recent $15,000 wholesale real estate deal. So as you all know, my first video about the deal was just a breakdown step-by-step of what I did to close the deal, to finding a cash buyer, getting a title company, and talking with the seller and negotiating a price with them. In the second video, I brought you all along with me to pick up the check at the title company to close on this property during COVID-19, during this whole pandemic. You know, I'm still able to close deals. And then now in this video, I'm going to go more in depth in my cell phone, and show you all the exact text receipt of what I said to the seller when they came back to me after one buyer backed out of the deal. Make sure you all like this video, comment down below on what are common objections and rejections that you get from your sellers, and what are some best responses that you use that you've seen work in your business. And if you all are still working on your first deal, just comment down below so I can know, the type of audience, and DM me on Instagram if you have any questions. Now let's get right into my text messaging. All right, you all, so I'm in my phone right now, about to show you all exactly what I told the seller. A lot of this deal was actually done just through text, and so I'm just gonna scroll through it and show you all what I was able to say, the different negotiation skills that I use. And I'm still working with a new camera. I'm not using my phone anymore, so I put the ISO on auto, so the brightness and exposure will fluctuate throughout this video, as you all probably already saw. But yeah, right here, so I talked to her over the phone, and then this was the first text afterwards. I said, I'll talk to you about price. I think over the phone I offered her a price of 70,000, but she said no, she was looking for like 100,000, over 100,000. And then I recalculated some things. I said, okay, the best number I can do is $80,000. And she said, no thanks, at least 20K short. And I can show you all. So right here, it says this text was done Thursday, March 5th. So this was right before the whole pandemic really started to hurt, or like you felt it here in America. I mean, it was already big in China. So she said at least 20K short. I tried calling her again later, but she didn't answer. But I just said, hey, that's the best we can do. Maybe the other investors that you have mail from may offer higher, because she said she got other mails from other people, other postcards, and I just said, hey, I hope you find the best solution. And once again, if there's anything I can do to help, please let me know. And it just shows, hey, I'm not rushing. I'm not thirsty over your house, right? Like, let deals come to you. Don't chase after deals all the time. And yeah, so that's basically how it ended, but I still kept her in my follow-up. So that text was on March 5th, and I sent her another follow-up. I called her, but she didn't respond. So I just sent the text. I say, hi, Sean. Matthew here again, just checking up with you to get an update on the property. I know we did not agree upon price, but have the other investors reach out to you. So building more rapport, just showing, hey, I'm listening to you. I know you said that before you had other investors talking to you. So right here, I just had that text reiterating what she says and saying, hey, is there anything I can do to help? And then I checked back with her again 6 days later. I said, hey, good evening, Sean. It's actually 5:26, so it's not that late. I hope you are well and safe out there with all the news happening. So this is when COVID started really coming up and whatnot. And so I'm kind of trying to bring that situation, those news and those issues into the situation, just not to make it as a tactic to buy their house, but just saying, hey, I'm going through the same things you are too. And I said, I just called and left a voicemail, wanted to see if you are open to reconsidering your offer. I know you are looking to move soon with your husband. We are ready with cash to buy another house. Are you open to scheduling an appointment so we can go out and look at the property? She said, no, thanks. I accepted a better offer. Wow, that sucks, right? But, I stayed calm, and all I know is that it's probably another wholesaler, or maybe just like an investor who's really going to buy their house and flip it. But either way, She accepted another offer. I still kept her in my follow-up sequence just so I can check up. And plus, with all these news happening, I knew that possibly there might be a deal here. So I said, okay, great. If anything changes, please let me know. Boom. And you don't rely on them letting you know. You have to go forward and be the active person in this relationship between wholesaler and seller, right? So probably, let me see. So that was March 16th. So what? That's almost 3 weeks later. I said, hello, Sean. Wanted to see how everything is going with the property. With all this craziness happening right now, were you able to move out and close on the property, So perfect text right there. I'm just saying, hey, I'm here. I just want to know if you were able to close on it. Congratulations on getting a higher offer, on getting an investor. Were you able to close on it? And she sent me a text actually 6 days later. So I sent her a text Monday, and that next Sunday she sent me a text. And so you see, I'm not like keep on sending them a text wanting to know. I'm being patient, playing the game right and whatnot. And so she says, hello, Matthew, I just got notice that our buyer's backing out due to uncertainty of the market. It is unfortunate. Honestly, you want the best for your seller. You want them to get the highest price possible. I always tell them that, hey, this is my number. I try not to split the difference, never split the difference. But yeah, so that's basically what she said. And I was like, good evening, Sean. Sorry to hear that. Of course, try to build, sympathy around the situation and whatnot. I say it can be frustrating with the uncertainty going on. What do you think you will do? ? So I'm not saying, okay, I'm buying it. Let's go. I'm trying to create a solution for their problem, and I'm wanting them to create the answer to their problem. Yes, I'm the answer, but I want them to come up with the answer on their own. I learned that in that Never Split the Difference book on negotiation and skills, that you really have to, you're the answer, and there's a problem, right? They need to sell their house, but have them come up with the solution and make it seem like they're actually in control and providing the solution for their problem, which you want you to be the solution. So I asked her this question, and he talks about always using what and how questions to have the seller or your other person talk, not just like one word answers, like yes or no answer questions. And she said, continue looking for investors. I was like, okay, I'm an investor. Yes, continue looking for more investors and get the best you can for the property. The investors I'm working with in this county are taking caution in what they're paying all cash for. Are you wanting to hold on to the property 2-3 years till the values rise up again? So right here, again, I'm not saying, hey, pick me. Once again, I'm not saying that. I was just checking the time to see how long I'm recording. I don't want this to be too long, but I want it to be detailed and in depth for you guys. And then, so I also brought up like the situation, what's going on. So this is kind of how you can close deals during these times, because we never know the long-term effects on the housing market, on the stock market with COVID-19. And so I'm like, property values might drop down and may stay down for 2-3 years until it rebounds. Are you willing to hold on to the property? And she said, I don't think I can do that. And it's crazy because when I'm reading books, I try to implement what I read. So if you guys are listening to this video, try to implement what you learn in your business, because in the book, he talks about bring up questions that elicit a no answer. And he just talked about how getting to yes, always having the seller say yes, doesn't always necessarily work all the time. And that by a seller saying no, they feel a sense of control because they're able to say no to a question. Even if it's something simple like you're cold calling and you're saying, hey, is this a bad time? Instead of, hey, is this a good time? Because people can say yes casually. But when they say no, it's not a bad time, then they feel like they're more in control, which is good. And she just talked about, hey, we moved out. I don't want 2 mortgages. I was like, I'm just reiterating what she says. I'm mirroring her thoughts. 2 mortgages can be annoying. Another thing that I learned in the book, mirroring. Just repeating the last few words someone said, or the main topics or aspects what they just said. And then I said, what would make you most happy and stress-free, right? And so I'm just implementing a lot of things. It's just cool looking at this. Like, I'm actually proud of myself, man. But, I'm staying humble, I said, considering everything that is going on right now, what new price would you take in order to be done with this house and start you and your husband new life in your home? So in that response, I try to create the vision, the dream, the picture, the ideal scenario in this situation to solve their problem. And I'm having her solve it. Yes, I'm the solution, but I want her to come up with the answer on her own. Put them in control, okay? And then look at this. She put $70,000. That's the original price I gave her over the phone. And I actually offered her $80,000 afterwards because I knew it was a deal later on. And then she wanted over $100,000. So from over $100,000, she went down to $70,000. Like, I don't know the price the other wholesalers or other investors offered her, but she's now at $70,000, which to me already is a deal, but I just don't grab it, right? And then I said 70K, ... You really have to, you gotta, it's negotiation, it's business. And then I just say, hey, right now I am not sure my cash buyers are willing to pay that much for the property. Earlier in March, we would have paid that in a heartbeat, but we may be close to that number. We want to help you and your husband. Is there a key somewhere on the property that we can take a look at the property? So once again, I mirrored what she said, 70K. And then I just reiterated, hey, I don't know if I can be at that number, but we can be close, basically. And then I just scheduled time to look at the property. Yeah, she said neighbors. I was like, how does 10 a.m. sound? And she said, do you still want to go, or would tomorrow be? A lot of roads are closed, so I will end up being there at 11:30 a.m. Cleveland time. Boom, boom. Okay, so right here, boom. Okay, so right here, this is when I got on the phone with her, right? So this deal is basically done, right? Once they say 70,000, it's a done deal. And then I called her over the phone to, after I looked at the property, I saw it was in decent condition. It just needed cosmetic updates. And I knew at 70,000, it was a good deal, right? But I said, hey, we may not be this close. With all the uncertainty, we're very hesitant on where we putting our cash and how we're buying properties. And let me see if there's anything else here. It's just about title work and whatnot. But yeah, so after I saw the property, I called her up, said, we can't do 70,000. Would you consider 62,000? Let that pause, let that settle a little bit. And then she said, I think, how about 65? I was like, 65. You know what? I think it could work for my investor. I think it could work. Bam! You see that? Just like that, they agreed to $65,000. So first of all, when she originally contacted me, she wanted over $100,000 for this house. I offered her $70,000 and then $80,000. So she went down from 100 to 80 to 70 down to $65,000. And I think partially it is because of this pandemic. And, of course, we're not trying to take advantage of people, but you're taking hold of the opportunity that prices are, not as high as they used to be. And there's less confidence in reselling a property. So if we take on a property, we're putting money into it, and we want to sell it for a decent price. So it's not going to sell as high during a pandemic anyway. So even our profit is a little bit shorter. But yeah, so that's basically what I did step by step in the text messaging to get her under contract and to get the price that I wanted. And as you all know, some was over text, some was just calling her directly. And then afterwards, the rest of the text is just basically talking about title, escrow, making sure all paperwork is in and whatnot. But that's the gist of this deal. So I hope you all found a ton of value from this video. If you all have, please do me a favor. It just helps grow this channel and make it more discoverable on YouTube is by liking this video, and also comment down below. More comments equal more shares and whatnot. So comment down below on what you all thought of the video, and if you have any questions regarding this deal or any other thing about wholesaling and real estate in general. Hope you all have a great day. I'll talk to you all later.